This is it, folks. I found the best mixer for live techno music, the Mackie 1604 VLC4. I'll tell you why in a minute, but first let me show you why you need a mixer in the first place. I've got a small setup here, an Analog Rytm, a Minitaur, a Beatstep Pro for sequencing, an El Capitan delay pedal, and a small Eurorack effects box I landed from Ola Munk. The main reason I like to use a mixer is the instant access to the volume of any track. There's no menu diving, no teeny tiny knobs, just big faders. You can also easily label it with gaffer's tape or just painter's tape, or you can use one of these like a labeling machine, but it basically doesn't get any faster than this. If I have a feedback loop, for example, I need to instantly reach down and turn down the fader. I don't want to blow people's eardrums out. Also, think about the order of your channels. Like in live sound, for example, there's like a default order, like it's always kick, snare, toms, hi-hat, and stuff like that. And always try to keep the same order, because then it really becomes muscle memory. So for example, channel 1, kick, channel 2, snare, then I don't know, clap maybe, toms, hi-hats and so on. I'm not gonna do everything now. And you can also label the top of this mixer, it has plenty of space. And the cool thing, you can actually rotate this part over here, so you can fit it into a 19-inch rack. So yeah, speed, that is reason number 1 to use a mixer. Reason number 2 is to get a mixer for its synth effects. Right now I've got a delay and a reverb hooked up. All I need to do is open up this spot over here and I've got an instant delay. So I'm using a delay on the top channel and a reverb on the bottom. On this mixer you've got dedicated effect returns, but you can always return your effects on a regular channel, like I did with the delay. So then you can not only EQ your effect returns, you can also send them back to itself to create feedback. So this is my delay. If I open it up, it starts oscillating. Be careful, don't make it too loud. So this is perfect for any kind of dub techno or yeah, whatever. It works for house, for any genre basically. The third reason to get a mixer is for its group channels. This mixer has 4 groups, which is unique for a mixer of this size. And it's basically the main reason I bought this one. But groups are extremely important because I can send all my drums to 2 channels for stereo or 1 for mono. I can route my effects there, my synths, whatever. And now it's really easy to just turn up the drums or lower the effects. So you can assign channels to the groups by pressing one of these buttons. So for example, if I route all the drums, I just depress the left right, so now we won't hear anything. Then I can send them to channel 4, for example. And now I need to assign it to the master. On top you can assign it to either the right channel or the left. So now it's mono. But it also sends it to channel 3. So in that case I need to pan these channels to the right. So now it should only appear on channel 4. But yeah, now I've got a group fader for the drums. And these pan pots also have a detent, so it's really easy in the dark to know where it's centered. The EQ as well. Now on larger mixers, these group channels have inserts. So you can insert compression, filters or distortion effects, for example. On this Mackie, we don't have that, but we can use a workaround. So on the back, we've got subgroup outputs, so the outputs from these groups, which are balanced. so that's nice. So I can take this output and send it through a compressor, for example. I have this Cosmotronic Measure compressor over here, which is a really great sounding Eurorack compressor. But now I can return it using the stereo returns. So let's say I've got a bassline part, and I send this out to group 3 and 4, which I already connected. Going out to the group output into a compressor, returning to the stereo returns. So that means on the upper right of the mixer I can just turn up this pot. And this is sending to the main output. Just need to make sure to turn off this assign button. Otherwise I'm doubling the sound. And then I don't get compression. So this is before compression. And this is after. Yeah, what I'm also doing, this mixer has direct outputs on all the channels. So right now I've got direct out number 1, which is the kick, connected to the sidechain input of the compressor. Which means the kick is now triggering the sidechain on any channel I'm sending to this group. So without, if I send it straight to the master, and now with, that's working. So I can also route the hi-hats over here. Or the snare. So that's cool. And these group tracks are perfect for effect returns as well. Let me show you. So let's say I'm building up to a drop. And then right before the drop, I want to kill all effects. So that's really quick. By the way, if you want to learn more about hardware setups, I've made a free guide which you can download via the link in the description. On to reason number 4. This mixer has a master insert, so that's ideal for some end of chain effects like compression, filtering and limiting. This is the perfect place to insert a stereo, high pass or DJ filter, so I can remove all the low end on everything at once. Ideal for breakdowns and to build tension. If I turn it to the right, like on a Pioneer mixer, it's a high pass. I can add some resonance. And towards the left, a low pass. And in the middle, it's off. So you can crank the resonance all the way, it doesn't matter. It only engages if you turn it. Yeah, if you want, you can crank the gain for some distortion. Ooh, my ears. This mixer has 16 different inserts, so for all the channels. So you can insert individual effects wherever you want. So distortion, compressor, stuff like that. And a little hack. A return cable is made up of a TRS cable. So you've got a tip, which is the send, and a ring, which is the return. So if I insert this cable all the way, the sound is gone, because I've got nothing at the other end right now. But when I insert it halfway, now I can still hear the sound. This means I can use this as a makeshift direct output for recording each individual channel. Of course, this might not be ideal in a live environment, because it's real easy to just bump the cable. So it might be better suited for studio conditions. But we also have direct outs for the first 8 channels, which should be plenty for most situations anyway. Right, why you need a mixer, reason number 5. Solos and mutes. These are so useful. Most mixers only have a pre-fade listen, so a PFL, which is used for the sound engineer to listen to the track on his headphones or on a monitor. But the 1604, we can use it like a regular solo. That is, if you use the control room outputs on the back. So right here is the control room section, and you can choose a source. So I need to select the main mix, and then you can adjust the level with this knob. It also has a detent. So now I can press solo, and here only the kick. I do have a solo level, so you may need to match this level. But most of the time when you're playing live or recording, you always leave the master near to unity gain. So let's say you're in a live situation like this, and you have no idea what's going on. You just want to return to the kick. One, two, three. And there it is. This kick is a little bit boring, but you get the point. Now I can lower the channels, turn off solo, and start building again. So that's the way if you want to use solo, you need to use the control room output. But normally you don't do that. So let me just switch over the cables. So in a regular situation with a regular main output, if I press solo now, the main output isn't interrupted. So that's useful. Now it basically becomes not a solo but a pre-fade listen. So let's say I've got the bass here, and I just want to make sure the sound is right before I turn up the fader. Press solo. If I want to see the signal, I just need to press this button. So when it's up, it's after fade listen, but I want it to be pre-fade listen. So you can dial in the gain, check that it's not clipping, listen on your headphones. So you need to make sure you have headphones turned in or a monitor connected to the control room output. There's also a useful light here saying you've got a track soloed, and the LED lights up. And when everything is alright, slowly turn up the fader. So that's solo. You can also use mute, which is really useful as well. I can basically mute 5 channels with my fingers at once. Cool thing, the synths are post fader in this case, except for auxiliary 1 and 2. You can set it to pre-fader as well. So let's say I connect the delay to aux 1. So now in post fader it only works if you turn up the fader, but it will still linger on, which is cool. So you can play around with that. Which is great for dub mixing. But if you set it to pre-fader and with the fader turned down, I now get a fully wet signal of the delay, and I can mix in the dry signal. So let's say you want to introduce a synth but really far in the back, so it might work better with reverb actually. Let's try that. On aux 2, let's set it to pre-fade, turn up the master. So now I've got a fully wet reverb. So that's an option, but usually I just leave it to pre-fader. So in this case I like to use returns 3 and 4. And the thing is, this mixer has 6 aux synths, but we've only got 4 knobs. So you need to press this button to shift to aux 5 and 6 instead of 3 and 4. If you're not using 5 and 6, this basically becomes a mute button for the aux synth. So on, off. But it doesn't stop immediately, it still lingers on, so that's perfect for delay throws. That's cool. Right, on to reason number 6 why you need a mixer is EQ. When you're working with raw sounds, you need some sort of way to shape these sounds. So a proper 3-band EQ is indispensable. So sometimes a hi-hat is just too bright. So you simply roll off the high end. In this case, it's a shelving filter from 12 kHz. And you can attenuate up to 15 decibels or boost 15 decibels. Which is the same for all 3 bands. Only the mid band you can change from 100 Hz to 8 kHz. And the low end has a boost, a shelving filter as well from 80 Hz. Perfect for kicks. But also if you just want to go to the break and remove all low end from just the kick or the bass. Or you can get rid of some mud, like if you're using rumble kick drums. Attenuate 200 Hz or something. Add some click. And you've got an entirely different kick. Pretty cool. And we also have a low cut button. If you've got return tracks, for example a delay, yeah, I don't really need everything below 75 Hz. That's why I'm returning these delay returns on a regular channel, so I can use the EQ. Also on the hi-hats, I don't need all the low end. Or on the clap. Maybe even a snare. That really helps to clean up the mix. But it's also a cool performance option. Just remove the low end from the kick, from the bass. Alright, the 7th and final reason to get a mixer is you can simply crank the gain for distortion. And this mixer has basically 40 decibels of positive gain, which is a lot. I do want to turn down the master fader. And you can play around with the EQ. But yeah, a little bit of overdrive is already useful. And yeah, 40 decibels of gain is ideal for live, because sometimes you have so much stuff going on, you just want to turn up the clap or whatever. And maybe you're already maxed out with the fader. Yeah, just crank the gain. I'm gonna make a no input mixing tutorial in the future, because you can do a lot of crazy stuff by just creating feedback loops, adding delays and tweaking the EQ and the gain. But yeah, that's for another video. So, why did I choose this Mackie mixer and not the popular Tasca Model 16, which actually goes for exactly the same price as this model? Well, the fact that we have 6 different synths, 4 groups, 16 mono channels, multiple outputs, solo, mute and stuff like that. And yeah, all the things I just talked about, which is pretty unique for a mixer this size and this budget. There's also the Soundcraft Spirit FX16, which I initially wanted to get. And that one also has subgroup inserts, 16 direct outputs, and yeah, other than that, pretty much the same features, but only 3 cents and 1 group track. So that's why I went for this one, the Mackie. Alright, so that's it for this review. Is it the best sounding mixer ever made? No, it's not an Neve or an SSL console. But does it have the most functions for this budget? Hell yes. Alright, let me know what you think about this setup. And if you like to work with a mixer or prefer mixer-less setups, go ahead and download my hardware guide in the description. Alright, I'll see you all with another video.